Yamsun apart from Mu. And with the Skadi up on Tomato, they had the damage, they had the control.
Yeah, they make it work. Again, it takes a lot of commitment out from TSM. That's basically trio ults. Lasso gone, Stone Gaze gone, Global Silence gone for that one kill, but it's a very worthwhile kill for TSM to find. Getting some good use out of that Scotty reveal on Tomato. The side of Nouns, I mean, they've got that full Octarine up on Mu. So he's got a lower cooldown charge already. Who needs the Axe, Mike, when you've got Octarine? Drops your Nether Strike cooldown too, so it feels good.
Even the bulldoze feels really nice. Ari's going to find him. Track is there. Mu will realize he's being tracked, so he just walks away. Tomato comes over. It's definitely a guy he doesn't want to deal with right now. I appreciate Mu going for the, the smart build, but God, I want to see the Axe. Because now with the Octarine core, if he gets Chakra Magic, he just has infinite Axe. Infinite charge. As long as Chakra Magic's available, there's a charge available. It's Mu. It's jumped on, had the bulldoze though, so the Aether Remnant not going to last too long. There's now Gunner trying to look for a Vortex. He's not going to fight. Nice jump away from Braille. I think they might even think about Roshan here. They will move over to the pit. Problem is, Nouns, they should have a pretty good idea that this is happening. And they are going to smoke up behind Gunner.
Yeah. They'll make their way down. There is vision, but no one's breaking that smoke. Ari's a little bit too far out.
No,
break it by the ramp.
They've got the Axe here, John. Yamsun's picked it up. They want to go for the surprise reveal. They're going to see Tomato. He'll morph into the Medusa. So now with the mana short, he's going to be annoying as well as Tomato. And try and get to work. Just stealing mana from each other right now. It's Tomato and Yamsun going at it. Charge is going to be there. Vortex out from Gunner, but no, he doesn't get it off. The Stone Gaze was committed, forcing them back. Is now Brawl making the jump in. Found the Storm. He is going to burst down Gunner. Gunner is down. He will buy it back. He wants to get back into this team fight. They do not want to allow Roshan to go the way of TSM for free. Yamsun onto Kasane will find the Batrider as now they really want Tomato. But Gunner's low on mana. He needs the Chakra Magic. Lelis will get it off. Tomato's surrounded. He's manning up against 5 basically as Moose trying to hold the rest of them back. And he's doing a good job of it. Tomato still fighting, but now he's out of mana. What? Now he should go down. But Yamsun's still in trouble. Yamsun's still getting pretty close to death. But he will be able to survive as they continue. The buyback was there from Husky as well. TSM still chasing for a little bit more. Gonna find Yamsun with an Aether Remnant. Brawl gonna hold him mid-TP. But can they kill him? Yamsun is still going. Waveform away. TSM, they want to keep chasing, but they don't have Astral Step. Instead, Husky. Blast Off was there, but he misses the stun. It won't matter though, because Mood does compensate with the charge. He will find the Bounty Hunter as he wants more. Wymon now charged up. Ari's going to commit the buyback. In comes Kasane with the Batriders. Roshan. Roshan gets involved with the team fight now. He'll go to the next side of the map. It's too noisy over here. Husky trying to run. Kasane on the chase. Should eventually have the techies. Surely, is the blast off? It's going to be cancelled. He's got the lasso. What a team fight coming out. Even Roshan had enough, just walked away mid-fight.
Yeah, it's a lot of back and forth. Nouns does manage to get some good punishment. It does cost them 2 buybacks, which isn't the best thing in the world. A dieback for Gunner, a dieback, I believe, as well for techies, and just really awkward overall. The TSM gets a lot more out of that. It's surprising how tanky Tomato is, like even without mana for a while. Like Yamsun couldn't really touch him on Strength Morph. I am disappointed though. I get why you turned to Medusa, but give me those 40% stats, Yamsun. Let me see how Ryle looks as a melee creep that jumps around. Because that's what he turns into when you steal all of those stats. That's how you play it. Turn into the universal type, Yamsun. Turn to the... Well, it's not really the dark side. TSM, though, lining up for the top rush. They've got the wards once more. And that was a lot of commitment out from Nouns, even in wards. Like, they had a really nice left side ward in the Roche pit. Now they don't have that. And TSM just get to go back. And that fight lasted so long. Global Silence is back up. Jeez.
I mean, everything's basically back up. All ults are available right now. As Roshan casually being taken here by the side of TSM. No real contest. Nouns not going to make their way over. Just going to push out the waves, buy themselves a bit more time to farm. There goes Tomato. He'll pick up the Aegis. So now you've got to deal with this guy twice, and he's already a pretty big issue as it stands. His lines are being drawn out through the bottom wave, so it seems like that's exactly where TSM want to go through here. These Ari's been drawing out some lines. I do appreciate the fact as well, like you look back at Moo on the Spirit Breaker, he is going to be going for the Heaven's Harbird, which I think is going to be very important against the Medusa. Such a value item against this hero. And she's really the big issue now in these team fights, as every Medusa tends to become if the game goes long enough. Tormentor is gone, so Ari will be able to pick one up now. We'll have the Shadow Walk to be used on his allies. Can be pretty detrimental. Like if you're not expecting that invis to come out, very annoying to try and play against.
Shadow Walk up on Brawl. You can get the Shadow Walk off on Tomato in these fights. It's a lot you can get done with that. Even just Shadow Walking your Batrider as initiation is going to be big here as well. Although to be fair, Nouns has been pretty on point with detection. That's not something that TSM's been able to catch him off guard with. Still.
He had the bulldoze going, not so much anymore, unless he randomly pops it, because he does. Kasane's gonna have to wait now, I think, as the charge away is there. Can they catch him? No, Aether Remnant's off the mark. Moo's fine.
Mystic
I actually had a Void Spirit. I actually had a Void Spirit yesterday who kept catching me mid-charge with an Aether Remnant. It's very annoying.
Yeah, that's a simple get good right there, Mike. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I won the game. Don't get me wrong, Jonathan. I mean, I was playing Spirit Breaker. How could I lose?
That's fair. Yeah, like you can get caught, but you can just charge again. You just keep going. Spirit Breaker is just gassed up. You know, he ain't stopping.
Love it.
Still, at the very least, right now, Tomato's not stopping as well, as he will get that siege going. Does clear it out. Does have the goal to buy out his Moonshort if he wants it, but we're just holding out, trying to get the Daedalus first, holding on to casual Hyperstone. Again, very even game, 11-17. 1k lead for the side of TSM as they will sneak away and take another Tormentor for themselves. So Bryle this time getting his shard. Wow. I mean, this is good that Whitebot's not getting his. It's just a lot of hate, I feel. 2 Tormentors in a row and the lowest net worth guy just doesn't get anything. What the hell?
Oh, what can you do? Oh, he's playing Silencer anyway. The Shards is not that good in a support Silencer.
Yeah.
It's okay.
That's fair,
it's
but
whatever.
It's... Wait, how is it... How's Bryle the lowest? I guess up against the other cores, yeah, he's probably the lowest. All right. Makes sense.
Gunner. Could be a big pick-off if they could catch him, but he will ball lining all the way to the top and just TP out. So now, I mean, again, realizing that after that last team fight, like, Tomato's proven to be extremely strong, and now with the Aegis up for 2 minutes, it's definitely not something you can deal with throughout a fight. So just going to try and defend high ground, maybe just secure some more farm on their cores. Obviously, this Morphling going to have a Skadi soon, but won't have buyback if he does buy it outright. Now you've got the 4 Daedalus available on the Dusa, so Tomato starting to hit very, very hard as they have found Moo once again. Moo should still be able to run, and the Flame Break's not going to connect. He'll be just fine to do so. Ooh. A nice Aether Remnant from Bravo. But is it going to be enough? Moo is still running. He pushes him away with the Psychic Headband. Moo is still trying his absolute best to find a way out. The Bulldoze status resists the charge. It's not enough. That was close. That was pretty close to getting away, but they got it.
Yeah, it takes a lot. Again, it takes the lasso out from Kasane. Not the biggest deal in the world now. Cooldown's not too bad. So not as much of a commitment as we've seen TSM kind of throw out before, where they throw out GS to find a pickoff. And this does provide an opening. They can go for a push play. Only a minute left in the Aegis, so not the longest, but you've got the full Daedalus and Tomato. This is not a Dusa you want to run up into. It's a lot of output right now coming out from Tomato, and they respect that on Nouns. Just going to have to give a tier 2 away. So you're still getting that build-up you want on Yamsun. He's going for the Lincolns next. That can save from this single target control that we are seeing coming out from TSM. At the same time, I mean, you've got track to constantly break anything like a Lincoln's. So it's not the biggest worry for TSM as long as they don't get caught off guard by it.
Gonna find Husky. We see him TPing at the top lane. Husky, oh, he's gonna try to run, but surely they've just got the kill here as he will blast off towards the north, just buying as much time as humanly possible. Bryle picking up another kill. More Heaven's Halberds coming out as well, by the way. Kasane now picking one up against the Morphlingers. He's going to show himself along with Tomato mid lane. Both pos ones revealing themselves, but I don't think Yamson really wants to get involved right now. Do you have the full moonshot up on Tomato now as well? Like, he's huge.
It's just machine gunning down. Medusa is way too big of a target right now. Much too durable for Nouns at this point. This is where, you know, execution is a lot harder. Outside of a laning phase, outside of that mid-game, early late game spike. Now they need to find these angles.
Charges there. They're going to try and get through the mana shield, or just the mana, the Stone Gaze. Tomato, he's actually out of mana right now. This could be the opportunity that Nouns have been looking for as Yamson getting to work. Move holding him down. Tomato's gone. Oh, I can't believe it happens that quickly. Limon also caught out of the silencer. He is dead to boot. Yamson able to find a double. How do they get it done that quick?
They just managed to
mana
focus
just
in.
disappeared.
I mean, you just lay onto that Dusa when no one else is around, and what's a Dusa gonna do? You know, it's like Stone Gaze went off. The Mystic Snake bounces weren't that big. They just get punished. Kasane now.
In trouble. They've got another charge up. Bryle is there to try and help out with the Aether Remnant to lock down Moo, but again, the charge is available. Problem is they are lacking the vision. So Ari instead is going to be targeted. They'll just take him out, but now Bryle going to try and salvage as Husky is out with the blast
boy.
off Bryle. He is out of actual step charges.
What?
Oh boy. Tips out from Moo, who's doing a splendid job this game 3, but Bryle, a very aggressive step in, and he does pay for it.
I don't understand why. He only had the one step. He goes in, doesn't manage to instantly dissimulate. It's a bit optimistic to look to kill Moo with 3.3k HP. That's not a hero that's falling down that fast in these fights. So, a bit of a mistake, and that leads to now it's just having this overwhelming, well, not overwhelming, but a significant enough lead. 3k up, 13 to 21. TSM, they're not out of this game for sure. They're still in it. You've still got scaling from your Dusa. You've still got item slots left. It does feel a lot harder to play this. I do like that we're seeing Kasane queue up the Hex now. Just a little bit more control to come through. Lincolns for Bryle set up here as well. But Nouns, they're in a comfy position. Ags being worked up on by Gunner. AoE Vortex will help open up these fights. Your Morphling has the Lincolns. Again, it's pretty hard to try to run up, even though you can track to keep popping the Lincolns. We need to see the coordination kick in from TSM. Like, break the Lincolns into the lasso on the Yamson somehow and play there.
They're looking at the Medusa. They surely know Tomato couldn't be alone, so maybe Ari gets caught out here. There is no sentry ward at this top lane just sitting there, so they won't know the bounty hunter's walking around that area. Tomato is going to go back for the full butterfly. Yamson going back for the disperser. Just wanting that mana burn against the Medusa, of course. And it's going to be very, very nice. They may want to try and perhaps change into an MKB if the butterfly does come out. We'll see. For now, though, disperser does feel quite nice. TSM sitting well and truly back, realizing they are definitely not out of this game number 3 yet. Like, they've got to just take it easy and really ensure they take a good team fight next time as Nouns. They're going to go after Roshan, it seems. Gunner is watching Rosh as we speak.
Yeah.
There we go. Roshan started. Nouns. It's the first Roshan I believe that they've had first dibs on. The butterfly is now available on Tomato, so they want to try and force the fight with this, and they have smoked up as 5. But Aegis is already the way of Nouns. Cheese will be picked up by Moo, and the immediate TPs are there. Nouns do not want to stick around. They'd rather go back, reset, and maybe smoke up themselves. And that's absolutely fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, no need to force the issue from nouns. No need to put yourself in a pretty awkward spot. Gunnar has his full ags if he wants to buy out here. He does have the cheese. There you go. AoE Vortex ready. The team fights for TSM are just suddenly really awkward. They're really hard to find the openings. We've got to see them stack their spells well. We need to see Brawl absolutely connect every single time he comes in for the Remnants. Connect to as many people as he can with the Resonant Pulse for the silence. And try to give a good position for Tomato to use his Stone Gaze on. It's been a little bit rough in finding these openings.
Yeah, it's mid lane, Lilith. But top lane, Kasane. Both sides of the map, someone's getting caught. Kasane actually popped the lasso, I believe, to try and survive through this, but is going to go down. Successful trade for nouns as now Tomato gets spotted. Yamsun immediately going to morph into the Medusa. Meanwhile, Moo will go for a charge into the mid lane onto Brawl, who already committed to dissimulate, so he could be in a spot of danger as now Gunner's in with the Vortex. Brawl is able to step away, but they can keep the chase up. They've got the mana here on Gunner. Dissimulate is out. Meanwhile, Tomato actually goes down to Yamsun. Oh, Yamsun's found the Deucer. We've been focusing on Brawl this whole time, but the real carry's gone as now Brawl's down as well. Is this just GG?
This could be. I mean, they still have some objectives to dig through, but that is a very determining fight for the outcome of this game.
Ari in trouble as well. It's definitely not GG yet because they are doing a decent job of holding Nouns backwards, but now they are a little bit low in terms of mana for Gunner. It's like Gunner, rather Yamsun should at least be able to find one lane of barracks here. TSM should be able to hold out for at least one more team fight or just hold high ground in general. You've got Kasane up in 2, but he's going to need some help to defend this high ground. You just can't afford to lose Tomato. It's just, he's too much of the team right now on this Medusa.
It's the team's win condition. They just lose out like that while focusing elsewhere in the chase, and now you're going to be racks down. Yamsun just not a care in the world right now. Knows he's very well protected. They're good and good for 2. They know they can get away with it.
I mean, why not? Why the hell not, Nouns? Not going to stick around too long. Tomato is back up and available. Tomato queued up an MKB now. Like he needs it against Yamsun's Morphling. Yamsun does have his own MKB. TSM, again, not out of this game yet. It is a 14k advantage the way of Nouns, but it is starting to feel like the net worth doesn't really matter as much anymore. It's just the draft and the way this is being played out as Tomato. He's alone, top lane. Vortex drag him back. Can they drain the mana though? Tomato for now is still perfectly fine as Yamsun. He'll get to work again. Mu is still holding down this Medusa. Tomato's almost out of mana. He needs some help. They can't leave him alone. They need to help this Medusa out, but he's gone. The blast off is there from Husky. They've taken down 3. There's no buyback available. It might be time, but no, they buy back. They want to try and keep going. 3 buybacks committed. Gunner's the target. They should at least have the Storm Gunner though. He's able to zip out. Oh my goodness. Nouns have lost nothing so far. In fact, they are still going after the mid-racks. They are not done with this game or this team fight. Yamsun is not backing off. He still has 40 seconds on the Aegis. The only person looking for the reset is Gunner. Onto the Megas they go. Tomato not being up. It's just so hard to defend this. Charges there. Ari and Brawl both getting hit. Mega creeps now up. Yamsun. 20 seconds left on the Aegis. TSM, they're being very patient to not take the Aegis out. They want to try and time it perfectly to take down this Morphling, who, by the way, won't have buyback if he does end up dying. But they will back off. They will retreat. Wait for Gunner to be back, and here we go again. The recall was there as the zip is in from Gunner. they don't need to overextend, right? Like you've got megas up, you can take it easy now. Even if Tomato's respawning, let him come.
Yeah, you're not in a rush now for now. And the side of TSM can clear out mega creeps pretty well with a Medusa though, so they can kind of try to stall out. But they need to protect Tomato. He keeps getting jumped. He doesn't have anything defensive up outside of the Manta, and it's just easy pickings once that charge is on. Once the heroes just collapse on top of him, the Deuce is not going to survive that long. You don't have something like your Ags plus Shard build up to get some stall and counterplay. You're not going to be able to just self-sustain up front. On the side of Nouns, this is a good look for them. This is finally their opportunity, perhaps, to go to Bali if they play their cards right. Just maintain this lead. Don't go too crazy. And, you know, gun for that win. TSM. It's a rough game.
Rough.
It looked so good in game one.
Charge cancelled off. It really did look so good in game one. 22-1 was the scoreline. In game one, like TSM just single-handedly destroyed them. And you would have thought that was going to be a quick 2-0 series based off that first game. But man, oh man, were we wrong in thinking that? Because now the charge is out. They have found Ari. The bounty hunter is just dead. It's going to be a 4v5, no buyback available for Ari. There's no buyback available on anyone right now. There's Mu. He does end up going after Bryle. Vortex is there from Gunner onto Kasane, but they've got to be careful about the lasso. Still the double lasso committed through the Lotus Orb. Oh, TSM. Kasane holds themselves down. Bryle's still going to jump in. Kasane is down, however, Yamsun running out of mana, but he's still more than happy to keep chasing Tomato down. In fact, now they're back onto the tier 4 towers, back onto Bryle. Bryle's being used up constantly. Can he get away? It seems like at least for now he can. He'll go back for the team fight, but there's your blast off. Husky's back in. Tomato's out of mana. Tomato's gone. That's it. GG is called. TSM end up losing the series 2-1 to Nouns. I cannot believe Nouns have finally done it. Oh, they've been trying the whole year, but they have finally managed to place top 2, at least for now, John. You can't jinx anything, but it seems like top 2 is secured.
Yeah, it does look like it, and you can see how happy Nouns are with that win. A big one, as TSM already launched the Shopify Rebellion. This result does mean they're 4-2, and Nouns is now undefeated still. I mean, more than likely, again, you're expecting them to play against Shopify Rebellion. That's where things are maybe a little bit harder for Nouns, but just this win gives them 1 win advantage over TSM. TSM, they're gonna have to hope for someone else to take down Nouns, someone else to give them a loss to potentially force out tiebreakers. But Nouns, finally, after a complete year of DPC struggles to reach the major, it looks likely, I mean, highly probable at the least, that they go to Bali, as we can take a look at the replay. I mean, they just had so much control. Right, like they go for this draft with hyper aggression, the lanes just go swimmingly well, and TSM again, they bounty hunter silencer. Like how do you play aggressive with that? You can poke, you can prod, you can maybe be defensive in the lanes, but the laning phase wise, it was just all Nouns. Like they were the ones running around. Mu had a fantastic time getting 2 early kills in Tomato and just snowballed off of that.
Yeah, he certainly did. I mean, Mu's just been this offlane Spirit Breaker. Like we all realize how broken Spirit Breaker feels right now as a hero, but he just did really well the whole time. He just would not allow TSM even a chance of fighting back. Just complete relentlessness from this Spirit Breaker altogether, and you know, just a masterclass. You know, not going for stupid builds that I go for, John, Shadowblade Ags, things like that. He just goes for the things that the team needs. Still has the crazy impact you're hoping for from this hero, and just bought enough time for Yamsun to become the problem that he needed to be on this Morphling. And as we saw from Yamsun, you got to give the man props. Like, he made the Medusa seem like it's not that big of a deal. You know, with this Morphling pickup, like just going for the Ags, it just really felt like this Medusa. Sure, there was other factors involved, like, you know, Husky was doing great, Gunner was doing great, Mu was doing great. But the thing is, at the end of the day, like, you know, Yamsun's Morphling at one point soloed Tomato as well. So the Morphling seemed to be a pretty good counter towards this hero.
Yeah. You just turn into a better Dusa. You steal her stats, you feel better. You've got a lot to cover your bases, and you can trade fairly well, especially once your Scotty's up. As long as you can kind of meet that farm parity, you're pretty all right. And we never saw an outright lead for TSM either. Like, there was a very slight network lead, but not big enough to have that full item advantage. The side of Nouns were, again, ahead for most of that game. And they just get it done. I think it would have been really interesting to see Yamson turn into a universal type, but you know what, the Dusa, it's a fair enough hero to turn into. You're kind of, just want to counteract the Dusa with a Dusa. And now it's, again, a spectacular series, a rough game 1, a very strong game 2, and a very strong game 3. That was pretty dominant coming out from Nouns with really strong lanes. And we have to hand our MVP here, Mike. It's going to Mo. It's going to our Spirit Breaker. He's had a great time. He's showing us just how busted this hero is. It certainly is really busted. 190% kill participation. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it is Spirit. Like, that's kind of what you want. But Mu, at the very least, played a fantastic game and just constantly finding the right targets to charge. And, I kind of said Yamson